My name is Rosa Sanders Moore. I worked as a supply clerk the whole time I was in the service. During World War II, and I was a WWII, Woman Army Corps. I was stationed at an Air Force base in Douglas, Arizona. We issued parts when they went out on the flights and came back and needed to do something to the plane. We issued what they needed.
This is you?
Yeah, that's me.
Look at the hair. When World War II hit, these women were the only ones that were here. So they were running the country for the most part. They were entering the workforce, managing the home, taking care of the bills and finances at home, working in parachute factories, ammunition factories, and still didn't get the proper thanks or acknowledgement that they deserved. And a lot of our female veterans weren't even considered veterans. The women that joined the Army Air Corps, the WWIIs and the WASP that you hear about, and it wasn't until the 1970s that many of the women serving in the Air Corps were even acknowledged as veterans.
I felt like, number one, it was a job, and somebody had to do it, and it was my turn to do my part on the job. I've never had any negative feelings about it. Whatever I had to do, I did it and did my very best.
I love teaching. I feel I have a lot to offer to benefit children.
For me, I need people to recognize what I've done, what I've accomplished, and that I still have something to offer. It was really something. And then you think, where did all these women come from? Where have they been? We didn't know they were around.
And it was just a validation for them to see that they were appreciated. And there's a whole Women's War Memorial building at DC, and for them to see that other people are interested in them and want to honor them, it was just a great experience.
We've come a long way, I say that, because when I was a young woman coming up, we didn't have the opportunity to progress in life like the men did. And we were second-class citizens. But since World War II, women have really come a long way.
One of the big roles that we have at VITAS is honoring our veterans, being part of these people's lives and being honored and privileged enough to come into their home and learning of their experiences and what they've done. Again, I always go back to that World War II generation, a generation that fought a world war, came back and rebuilt the world and asked for nothing. And to be able to sit in a room and listen to their experience, what a privilege to be able to give back to someone that's given so much.